Walshe, the Cohasset man accused of killing and dismembering his wife in 2023, changed his plea today on 2 counts related to the case. Western Mass News correspondent Sarah Conji has all the details from inside the courtroom.
Do you now plead guilty to these indictments willingly and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the first day of Brian Walshe's murder trial, a sudden turn of events.
Is your mind clear here today?
Yes.
Walshe changed his plea on 2 of the 3 charges against him.
Tell me in your own words, sir, why are you here?
I'm here to plead guilty.
The 50-year-old admitted to misleading police about his wife's whereabouts nearly 3 years ago.
The defendant then continued to mislead police officers when he made additional false statements about Anna Walshe being alive.
Walshe also pleading guilty to disposing of his wife's body.
The defendant conducted internet searches into disposal of the body, researched locations of dumpsters, and then traveled to those locations. In disposing of the body of Anna Walshe,
The murder trial against Walshe will move forward. It's unclear how the changes in plea on the other indictments will reshape the case.
You're pleading guilty to these 2 indictments because you wish to plead guilty because you are guilty. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That was Sarah Conji reporting. Walshe faces a maximum sentence of 10 years on the misleading police charge, with up to a 20-year sentence enhancement if convicted of murder. He could get up to 3 years in prison on the conveyance charge. The judge will not sentence him on the lesser counts until the murder trial is over.